Welcome to Manchester United Daily Updates. Ruben Amorim reminds unsettled Man United players who is in charge of transfer situation. Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim says he is still not sure who will be coming and going but insists the club will not let anyone leave if they feel it is not in the best interests of the squad. Ruben Amorim admitted he is in the dark over player sales in the January transfer window but insisted the club are in control of who stays and who goes. Amorim has frozen Marcus Rashford out of the first-team squad and the 27-year-old striker has already said he wants to find a new challenge away from Old Trafford. And there has been talk of potential moves away from Old Trafford for Alejandro Garnacho, Casemiro, Antony and Tyrell Malacia, amongst others. It seems obvious that United would like to get underperforming big earners such as Casemiro and Antony off their books, and Rashford's United career looks as good as over. And the sale of a player such as Garnacho would make financial sense in that all of the fee would go down as pure profit because the Argentine is classed as an academy product. But Amorim, who had a meeting with co-owner Sir Ratcliffe after the dramatic ending to the victory over Southampton on Thursday, reminded the under-contract stars that the club, not the players, are in charge of the transfer situation. The United boss said, "I want to keep my players, I'm focused on these players. I don't know what is going to happen in this window, we'll see. But they are our players, so we have control on that. We decide on that. Sometimes it's harder for the players because they have some information, and you can feel it in every team. It's like that." As the uncertainty over the future of several players continues, the Carrington training ground is buzzing with speculation about who could be departing and who might be coming in. And it was suggested to Amorim that the transfer window was becoming a distraction for him. He replied, "For me, it's harder to prepare for the game when we lose. When we win, we can manage everything, expectations, the bad mood for some players. We'll prepare the game in the same way and just focus on the next game." Amorim actually insisted Antony, despite coming up with one of the misses of the season, had a good game after coming on as a second-half substitute against Southampton. And the £85 million flop looks like one of those who will be going nowhere before transfer window shuts at the beginning of next month. But a deal with Napoli for Garnacho is still on the cards, while Rashford's representatives are believed to be in talks with several big clubs around Europe. Casemiro has been linked with mega-lucrative move to Saudi Arabia. Erik Ten Hag made a mad confession before Man United's sack that speaks volumes. Ahmad has emerged as one of Manchester United's most prized assets under Ruben Amorim, yet his status as the club looked drastically different under former manager Erik Ten Hag. Former Manchester United manager Erik Ten Hag once claimed that in-form winger Ahmad should have played more often during his time as manager at the club. Ahmad has been United's brightest star this season with 6 goals, 6 assists and a series of sensational showings. His most eye-catching performance of the season came on Thursday night when his stunning 12-minute hat-trick against Southampton rescued the Red Devils from embarrassment, as he steered them to a 3-1 comeback over bottom-placed Saints at Old Trafford. Under new United boss Ruben Amorim, the 22-year-old has also put in impressive displays against arch-rivals Liverpool, Manchester City and Everton in recent months, that has the United faithful convinced that the club have a genuine star in the making on their hands. However, it all looked very different for the Ivory Coast star under Ten Hag. It's hard to say whether deploying the gifted winger more often would have alleviated some of the pressures on Ten Hag, with the Dutchman actually playing Ahmad in several games this season before he faced the Axe in October. However, it could be suggested that the former United coach had a diamond on his hands, yet didn't perhaps have the foresight to see it, as he often favored other players in Ahmad's position. For the sake of balance, Ahmad spent a successful season out on loan at Sunderland in Ten Hag's first season at the club, and the 54-year-old later accepted that he should have used the starlet more regularly. Yet his hands were perhaps tied due to Ahmad spending a lengthy time on the sidelines through injury, which limited him to just 12 starts for United last year. Speaking in April 2024, Ten Hag confessed that he had to make a call over which player got the nod on the right flank, with Ahmad often being the casualty of his deliberations. However, the former Ajax coach made a concession that the youngster's torrid time spent on the treatment table, where he missed the first 4 months of the season, did play a decisive factor. "Don't forget he had a long period in the season injured," Ten Hag said. "We rebuilt him and now he has had some opportunities to make real contribution. He deserved more game minutes, but I have to choose there. We have Alejandro, Garnacho, Antony, and Omari Forson, and we have to make choices there. But I am very happy with his performances and his progress. I see his qualities and his assets can really contribute to our game." Former South Africa international Benny McCarthy, who spent 2 years working as an assistant coach with Ten Hag at United, explained to the Podcast and Chill Network recently why Ahmad was frequently underused by the then United manager. The former Blackburn Rovers striker quite telling. Manchester United finally have solution to £82 million transfer problem, but there is a catch. Antony is reportedly subject to interest from Real Betis as Man United weigh up what to do with him during the January transfer window. Manchester United have, reportedly, received interest from Real Betis for winger Antony in the January transfer window, but that proposed deal is dependent on Ineos agreeing to a key clause. Since arriving in the summer of 2022, Antony has failed to live up to the £82 million price tag that United paid for his services. The Brazilian, 24, has struggled with the pressure of expectation as well as the physical nature of the Premier League. He has managed just 12 goals and 5 assists in 95 appearances for United and, ultimately, will have been among the reasons Erik Ten Hag lost his job. Now under head coach Ruben Amorim, Antony looks further out of place, as he neither suits being a wingback nor one of United's number 10s. He was called upon off the substitutes bench on Thursday night against Southampton, and he produced one of the misses of the season that looked likely to be costly until Ahmad's hat-trick heroics saved the day. Now, it appears his Old Trafford nightmare could be on the verge of ending, if reports are to be believed. According to Ben Jacobs, La Liga side Real Betis would be interested in taking the Brazilian on loan until the end of the season. However, they would not be able to afford his full wage, so instead would require United to subsidize a significant proportion of his salary. Research from Copology claims that Antony currently earns around £200,000 per week at Old Trafford. That means that, while the Brazilian is not on a par with the likes of compatriot Casemiro and Marcus Rashford on the wage bill, he does have a considerably bloated salary for his current importance to the team. There is no suggestion, as of yet, whether United would be interested in this kind of deal to get Antony out of the squad. The 24-year-old remains under contract at Old Trafford until 2027. Man United stance on signing Viktor Gyokeres in January window as Ruben Amorim takes gamble. Manchester United have been linked with making a move for Sporting forward Viktor Gyokeres this month. Manchester United are reportedly planning to make a move for Viktor Gyokeres in the summer, indicating that the striker will not be leaving Sporting Lisbon this month. Since joining Sporting from Coventry City in 2022, Gyokeres has become one of Europe's most sought-after strikers. He netted an impressive 43 goals in 50 matches during his debut season, helping Sporting clinch the Primera Liga title. The Swedish star has continued his goal-scoring form this season, registering 32 goals in just 30 games, making him a top transfer target. Both United and Arsenal are said to be interested in the 26-year-old, who still has 3 years left on his contract, putting Sporting in a strong position to negotiate. According to The Independent, United are prepared to postpone their pursuit and return for Gyokeres in the summer. They are hopeful of beating their rivals to secure a deal at the end of the season. It is understood that Gyokeres has an £83 million release clause in his contract. United would struggle to meet this figure this month without selling several players, while Sporting are keen to retain their star striker. The two clubs reportedly have a good relationship, which lends weight to the belief that Gyokeres is more likely to move in the summer. The striker is said to be keen to step up a level and would love to work with Ruben Amorim, now at United, again. However, they risk a potential deal being hijacked by a rival beforehand. Arsenal have identified the ex-Coventry star as a potential target. With Gabriel Jesus sidelined due to injury, they've greenlit a move for a striker in this transfer window. Gyokeres, RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko and Brighton's Evan Ferguson are all on their radar. However, Sporting boss Rui Borges is adamant he wants his star forward to stay until the end of the season. If we always believe the news. Football is made of this. Players have clauses, it's a big business. As a coach, my focus is on what I have to work on the pitch. That is my primary concern, Borges stated earlier this month. I try not to stray from that, as it's the only thing I can control. The rest relates to the club, the structure, the clauses. He is a unique player, who is aligned with the team and his teammates. Right there, he is already way ahead. We do not shy away from the importance he holds. Having to adapt someone to the team, to the club. Some adapt quicker, others less so. Viktor is an important player, and any coach would like to have him until the end of the season.